Hello everybody! Welcome back to Generation Jumble! Now, since I last talked to you, we've had a lot of progress going through Losers Bracket, and I finally caught up to you guys so I could talk about Winners Bracket semifinals. And for the purpose of the video, it's just gonna be semifinals. But just know, after Winners Bracket is done, we'll be finishing up Losers Bracket, and then Grand Finals, most likely. So because we're getting close to the end of this tournament, that means there isn't as much meta developments going on. So most of the things I talked about in the other videos are gonna be like, mostly the same. I just have some minor things I want to tell you about. Camerupt, a Pokemon that people haven't really used too much, which is very understandable. We have two other Amnesia ground types, which are a lot better. And this one's quad weak to water, and it is weak to ice. Yikes. Despite that though, Camerupt does have some niche uses. The main way you're using Camerupt is on boom spam teams, since with Camerupt and other explosion users such as Executor, you can obviously get a lot of good kills in very fast, and being a really good mix attacker with 100 base power Earthquake and 105 special Fire Blast, you hit hard. And even have Amnesia, which is just like, you probably won't use it a lot, but it's good. If you have like at least one up, you might survive a water move, so you can use Explosion. But that's just a pipe dream. That's not really gonna happen. I just haven't seen it a lot, but I have seen the council members talk about how Dragonite has gotten a lot better. I forget their reasoning exactly, but I'm pretty sure being a flying dragon type is actually just good. Like for Palossand, for example, you're immune to Earthquake, and while Amnesia Psychic might hurt, you have Blizzard, which obviously Palossand super fears. Depending on the Gastrodon set, you also might be fine. Watch out for Blizzards and Ice Beams, but if it's Earthquake or Surf, you're probably gonna be fine. Oh, speaking of which, I've seen a lot of people talk about how Gastrodon with Earthquake probably isn't worth it. I disagree. I think it hits decently hard with 83 attack, but I can definitely understand people prioritizing Gastrodon with two different special moves. Most likely Surf and then either Ice Beam or Blizzard, whatever your preference. So that's about it when it comes to the meta development. Not a lot. This is probably good the last time I really have like a pre-analysis when it comes to like going up the meta, unless there's some like big change going on. But since we only have 2 matches to go over, that means I can not only just show you the full matches, but give you the full background behind both of them. Because both of these are very, very, very interesting. First off, we have Funnyman versus Groundback. Oh wait, that's me! I'm Groundback! And this one's been interesting. So, it's starting off with Funnyman. Funnyman was someone who first started playing in the second tournament, or not the second tournament, the second season for Generation Jumble. They were a newcomer, and they ended up doing pretty alright. They ended up facing people who, I believe like the first few matches were against other new people, such as Melon Ward, which we will get to in a little bit. And they did alright. They didn't end up getting super far, but a lot of that ended up being just RNG. In fact, their match with Zashali, which is what got them knocked out of the tournament, I believe they ended up getting really bad paralysis and freezing luck, and despite that, they put up a really good fight, which is pretty cool. If we go over here, looking at the bracket, Funnyman, where did they start? Trying to find them. Yeah, they started with Zach and Theus. Like, they started with a council member, which, that already is pretty crazy. They ended up winning. They beat Riscato, which got in 3rd place in both the second and first tournament for Season 2. And they made it all to the winners bracket against me. I did pretty bad in the second tournament. Or, not the second, again, the second season. I'm not sure why I keep messing up that. But for me, I was very similar to Funnyman, where I lost to really bad paralysis luck and missing Lovely Kids, I think 4 times in a row before getting paralyzed twice in a row. So both of us got pretty messed up by RNG. So, yeah, this is a match that people are looking forward to. I wasn't sure what to expect, because Funnyman is pretty good, despite not getting super far. But this was really their chance to get far. So, let's just get right into it, shall we? I started with Weak Jinx, and immediately I start having some trauma, missing Lovely Kiss. This is already going really bad. I get fully paralyzed. Oh no, this is going bad to worse already. Get hit with a Thunderbolt doesn't do much. They paralyze Chansey, so Moscato just, or Funny Man is having a really good start. It's even Submission Raichu, so Chansey's taking a lot of damage. I'm forced to switch, but at the very least, knowing that Submission, I feel very safe sending a Palisand, but they have Articuno. Are you kidding me? I go back into Jinx. Jinx is... It could survive a Blizzard, but not a Hyper Beam. So already this is looking really bad. Oh, by the way, can we talk about how Articuno, I'm pretty sure, got banned from a Gen 1 underuse today? I'm pretty sure that literally happened today. That's kind of funny. They go back in the Raichu. I go back in the Palisand. I just have to go for, like, switching it or going for Psychic. Therefore, I paralyze, and I was surprised they stayed in. I guess they're predicting something. But I go back into Chansey, they switch into Articuno, and I'm generally afraid that, what's it called, Hyper Beam would kill, so I switch into Starmie. The plan was to have Articuno recharge a Hyper Beam, and then get a free paralysis up. I go into Solrock, because I figured Solrock was kind of neat, and I wanted to see more in the tournament. Unfortunately, not doing much in this game, because it's just, well, it might be a Rock type, it is just not bulky enough to take on Articuno, especially after getting some hits in. But it could potentially damage Articuno. So taking the damage is already pretty scary, but I figured my main win con to take on this Articuno was to paralyze it, outspeed with Solrock, and go for Rock Slide. But the fact that it already took some damage was really bad, and the fact that it's weak to Solrock's Earthquake even worse. So I'm already feeling like I'm just out of this game, but obviously I still try. Luckily with the Chansey there, I get a free softboiled in. Only a paralysis would have killed me there. They go for Psychic, which is definitely a good call. They switch in Articuno. I go for Shore Up because I feel like my team's is so fragile, I cannot afford to really take any chances. They go into Raichu. I go back into Solrock. Solrock can outspeed and kill with Earthquake. Another Earthquake hits the Palisand. I once again hit Fire Spin, so Solrock is technically still doing a good job. I go into Starmie. I try to go for, I think, I tried to go for the kill, but it doesn't work. There's another Thunderbolt, but I can heal with Chansey again, so I'm feeling a little bit better. Chansey gets healed. And I go into my own Palisand. They shore up. That's a big problem. I go back into Chansey. They go for Amnesia. So already this feels like going from bad to worse. I go for Ice Beam. It is not enough to get a kill. I switch into Starmie. They go for Earthquake. It does, meh chip, I would say. I go for Surf. No crit, unfortunate. But at least I can go back into Chansey and heal. And since it's paralyzed, I opt to wait for Freeze. They go for Assault Board as well, which, I mean, I guess why not, right? They go to Raichu. I go for Ice Beam. I get a crit. So I really needed that. They go for Submission, and I knew that Submission recoil would kill there. They have Gastrodon. So I am really scared now, because I know this thing is going to go for Amnesia at some point, and I don't feel like I have any good answer towards that. There's the Amnesia, so I go for Psychic, trying to lower the special. I get the special lowered. They go for another Earthquake, so that was kind of lucky on my end. There's another special drop, but they can just boost that up again. So this is looking really bad. And they go for another Recover. And at some point, the special drops are just going to stop mattering at this point right now. Because now it's just far too much to, like, really, for Psychic, special drops really matter. So I have to just keep going. I have to pray for a crit. If I don't get a crit, I'm just dead. I go for Recover here. They go for another Amnesia. I probably would have said that I was getting a little greedy. I probably would have just kept on attacking. But still, like, they're fully recovered. And there's a crit. I needed that. However, it is definitely not enough. And I believe this is where I get aggressive, and I get the second crit. Holy shit, I needed that so badly. They go into Chansey. I switch to my own Chansey. This is the perfect opportunity to get healing in. Even with the crit, it's not that bad. They try going for the full paralysis or crit, but they don't get it. I heal. They go into Jolteon. I'm fully paralyzed, but luckily I have Palisand in the back. And now I can feel more safe to be more aggressive. They go to Articuno. I once again try to get a special drop, but don't get it. I switch into Chansey. At this point, I feel like Chansey's already done its job, and it's high enough to where Hyper Beam won't be much of a big deal. So I paralyze the Jolteon. Really great news. They go to Articuno. I go to Palisand, which I wasn't really expecting. There's Blizzard. At this point, I feel like a lot of these Pokemon have already done their job. To my surprise, they went for Blizzard instead of Hyper Beam, but I finally get the Articuno paralyzed. They miss the Hyper Beam. They go into Jolteon. I heal. I think at this point, I feel like technically, what's it called? Solrock can probably do a good enough job finishing the rest of these off. But they go for Agility, so once again, I'm suddenly feeling terrified. I go into Tauros. My only real bet is that use Tauros to beat this Articuno. With Articuno being fast, those full paralysis I needed, otherwise I would not have won. I go for Blizzard. I don't get the crit. They go for Shore Up. And at this point, like, I pretty much already won. Tauros is able to just clean up this game, which is a shame because I really wanted to use Solrock. I go for Earthquake here. Doesn't even get the kill. So now I'm starting to question how good Solrock even is. I go in the Palisand, which at this point, Palisand is more than enough to win. Especially with Amnesia. Like, they can go into their own Palisand or even go into Chansey. It's not much you can do here. With Amnesia's Ice Beam, it's nowhere near scary. So I kind of feel bad that I won that game with, like, that RNG. But it's, you gotta win, you know? The special drop on Chansey is very nice there. Even if I got a freeze, there's still Tauros in the back, so I feel very confident about this. Even if Tauros were to be paralyzed, I would still feel confident with this win. They go into Palisand, but I have max special, they don't. Even if they try going for Amnesia, it won't be enough in time. I can kill them, I can kill the Chansey, and that was game 1. Overall, I have no idea how I won that. Like, Gen 1 give it, Gen 1 take it away. So, that was very scary, but I managed to survive in the end. On to game 2. Now, I'm already terrified of Articuno, so I already switched my team up, because I felt like my team could not really handle Articuno. So lead Raichu, as you typically see. Both Raichus get paralyzed, which, you know, is standard. I go for Surf. They're fully paralyzed. That's a good start. They go for Thunderbolt. No crit. I go for another Surf. They're already almost dead. They switch into Chansey. I'm fully paralyzed. And they go for Soft Boiled for some reason. I'm assuming that's a misclick. I go for a Thunder Wave, just getting that paralysis in. As well as trying to fish for those special drops, because it can never hurt, you know? Chansey has Thunderbolt, so they were calling for a switch, but it didn't happen. Going for another Thunderbolt. Raichu's taking decent damage here. I decided to finally switch into Gastrodon. I'm completely immune to the Thunderbolt, and I have Earthquake, so I can do decent damage, but I think it's better to go for Amnesia. Blizzard hits, but doesn't do that much damage. I get like a third of the way down with Earthquake. I go with the Cloyster predicting them to go into something slower, but they stayed in. Bad news for me. There's another Psychic, gets hit with a crit. This Raichu is basically dead, especially with that special drop. I just have to let it die, unfortunately. And good thing I stayed in, considering they had a crit. There's Zapdos. I think I'll try to go for the kill. Yes, I do. There's Thunderbolt. But I'm worried about the damage range, so I go straight in like Gastrodon. Gastrodon can outspeed since Raichu's paralyzed. I go for Blizzard, but it misses. Really unfortunate. I go back in the Cloyster. They go for Recover. And they go in the Raichu. I go for Explosion. Kinda sucks, but at least I still have good momentum. In comes Executor, but they have Vanillux, the worst thing possible. I tried to go for Explosion, but it just didn't work out. So Executor gets killed. I go into Tauros, and I'm feeling really scared. I get Body Slam, gets a full paralysis. Definitely needed that. I go for another Body Slam. Does decent damage, but they miss Blizzard. Not like this. Not like this. There goes Starmie. I have to stay in and just let Tauros get paralyzed. Because my main win con is either Agility Zapdos or Amnesia Gastrodon. So I'll have to just... It's a really bad situation to be in, but one I just have to try my best in. There's Body Slam. They have Counter. Was not expecting that. I have Gastrodon. And I have to pray for... What's it called? I have to pray that this thing does not get frozen. Because technically, Agility Zapdos could do a lot of damage, but since the Palisand is still completely healthy, if Gastrodon falls, I cannot win this game. So we have a reverse of what happened in the last game with Gastrodon versus Starmie. but my Gastrodon is pink, which is pretty cool. Now, we have a bit of a stall war here, and it's just a matter of if I can get enough free Amnesias in. I go for Amnesia there, and they try to go for Psychic. Hopefully, they don't get crit. If they do get a crit, it is over. Psychic is not doing the best. And if able to, I like to force those recovers, since recover is making this very annoying. I go for another Amnesia there. They go for recover. I go for Blizzard, which does more than I originally thought. Starmie gets frozen, so as you can imagine, that's huge. They go for Body Slam. I go for Blizzard, which is enough to kill. They have Chansey, but I have Earthquake and it's paralyzed, so Chansey is just struggling a lot. Earthquake does a lot of good damage there. And Chansey can just keep on healing, but sooner or later, something good is going to be in my favor. And since the only other real Pokemon they have is Gastrodon, this is already a game 1. So yeah, I will admit, both of my games were won with some bad RNG on Funny Man's part. But they're still in Losers Bracket, as we speak. They had to face against my brother Convex, and Convex is doing pretty good. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention it earlier. Plausible, one of my council members, dropped out because they wanted to focus more on IRL stuff. And since Convex got close to beating them anyways, we decided to give Convex the win instead, so Convex, yeah, is taking Plausi's place. There's Blizzard. Blizzard does a lot of damage. Once again, more than I would have expected. And, by the way, this part's kind of funny. But as you can see, I have only 3 Blizzards left. And I'm out of Earthquakes. So theoretically, this Palisand can still win. So the last Blizzard does kill. But if I miss both my Blizzards, such as that, I could lose. I need to hit this Blizzard, because if I don't, the, what's it called? The Palisand can live. I'm also pretty sure it can survive a crit, since it'll be weaker than Max Special Blizzard. But I do manage to hit, and there we go. I managed to win game 2. But I got really, really close to losing it. So yeah, that was very stress-inducing, not gonna lie. But now on to Sotina versus Funny Man. Sotina is a council member, and you've definitely heard a lot from her if you've seen some of the council meetings. She is one of the most active members in our community, and she's often the one that playtests the most. Melon Lord was someone who played in Season 2, and he almost played in Season 1. In fact, I think most people don't remember this, but Melon Lord didn't even know how Showdown worked. So we actually needed people to help him in DMs, both make a team, as well as, even figure out the challenge people. It was kind of adorable. But he didn't end up doing much in Season 1, but he did play in Season 2, where he played how you would expect a beginner to play. Like, not to be rude, but just how it was. I played against him in Losers Bracket, absolutely destroyed him game 1, and then game 2, I literally swept his entire team with just the lead Agility Zapdos. The match was actually so one-sided that I didn't even bother posting a video on it. Literally 30 minutes later, I had my match with Greg Gusto, and you guys have probably seen that video. The only video where I got genuinely mad and lashed out at people. Yeah, so that's something. But Melon Ward did exponentially better for this season. He went up against people who were pretty skilled, such as Convex, and I forget who else, but let's take a look together, shall we? I believe he's in the bottom. Like, he's gonna fight, he fought Melon Lord, or, no, he is Melon Lord, I'm stupid. He went to Losers Bracket, oh no, he beat, what's it called, GKVE, yeah. Like, sorry, I wish I made these videos immediately after, like, these replays, but I've been kind of busy IRL. But the point is, he's been facing some pretty surprisingly good people. Like, he fought Convex and beat Convex, so now he's going to be facing Sotina, and that's what we're going to see today. And Sotina herself, even though she's one of the most active members, and she's a really good player, for both the first and second tournament for Season 2, she only ended up going halfway. Same as me, Funny Man, Melon Lord. So, that's just one thing I really like about Season 3 so far. So far, all the people in Winners Bracket didn't really do that well in the second season. So this shows just, I think it both shows just how evenly matched and balanced the third season is, as well as just our player's getting better. Because it's not just Cyber DJ winning for the 3rd time in a row. Alright, now let's get into this. Now, we start off, we have Lead Executor, which is Lead Raichu. Already off to a pretty interesting start. No one wants switches in their Executor, but it gets put to sleep. Going straight into Vanilluxe. Really great, because Vanilluxe is very good offensively. Getting 20% off on Chansey. Chansey eats a Thunderbolt pretty easily. You go back into Vanilluxe, predicting Ice Beam. Going for Light Screen. So now you're just not really getting hurt by Chansey. And you try to fish for Freeze, since that's very valuable. They go to Snorlax. I guess you were just trying to stall for some time. You go for Blizzard, but you miss, unfortunately. They go for another Body Slam, no crit. But you're fully paralyzed, no explosion either. Going into your own Snorlax, and this is a classic Snorlax mirror. Both have Reflect, so that really sucks. They go into Sawsbuck. You go for Ice Beam, catching everyone off guard. When the Sawsbuck gets frozen, you go back into Snorlax, get a free Body Slam in, and since you have a way to hit Snorlax specially, their Reflect will not be as impactful as yours. They go for a Body Slam, no crit. You go for Ice Beam. You're doing... It's not really that great, but it's better than just hitting with Body Slam, I think. Hard to tell. They go for Rest. They're healing up. Are you going to heal up? No, you're not. You're going to switch into Zapdos, which is probably good against a Sweeping Snorlax. Going straight into Agility. Not sure if I completely agree with that, but you go for Thunderbolt. And it does a pretty good chunk to Snorlax. I'm pretty sure Snorlax is going to be faster here, because you're supposed to use Agility while you're paralyzed. So yeah, that definitely was just a big misplan on Satina's part. Going for Thunderbolt, getting the crit, but the crit is not enough to kill. But they miss Hyper Beam. They go into Chansey. The Thunderbolt does not do that much. You're fully paralyzed. They go for Ice Beam. Doesn't get the kill. You go for Drill Peck, getting good damage in. Going for Ice Beam. That's dead. In comes Executor. Double Edge is enough to get the kill. Alright, this is going pretty well. There's Tauros. They go into Snorlax, but you went for Psychic and not Explosion. There goes Tauros again. There's Blizzard. It does about like a third. There's Psychic. And you get the special drop really good. They're forced to switch into Sawsbuck. You go for Psychic. Once again, Sawsbuck can't do much. You kill it. They don't have many options left. They have to go back into Tauros. I probably would have gone for Hyper Beam, but it doesn't matter because Melon Ward is the best and gets the crit. They go into Executor. This Chansey probably has Ice Beam, so not the best. But Executor does manage to wake up. Goes into Vanilluxe. Not sure why they didn't just kill. They just kind of wasted their Raichu there. Back into Executor. There's Snorlax. You go for Double Edge. Snorlax goes for Rest. So you can probably just be free to go for Psychic or switch into Tauros. I probably would have just gone for Psychic instead. You get the crit though, which you definitely really need. You go back into Executor. They go for Reflect. You can pretty much go for Psychic now. It's going to do a lot of damage. They go for Rest. And what does Melon Ward do? They keep going for Psychic, which they should have just done in the first place. I'm not sure why they were bothered switching in the first. But it doesn't matter. Because Star's taking a lot of damage here, and it can't just rest off the damage. Sooner or later, Executor will win. So it's just a matter of when. They might be able to switch into Chansey here, which is better. But with Snorlax's sweep, they're definitely going to be struggling a lot. And now with Chansey asleep, Satina is really out of a lot of options. Harass Pokemon better be good, otherwise Melon Ward will be winning this. Psychic does a third. The 2 more will be enough to kill. Snorlax is going to wake up here, but yeah, it just can't survive. Executor has defeated Snorlax. You have Chansey, and now Executor will be taking some chip, but yeah, this is not ideal. Not ideal in the slightest. There's another Double Edge, so Tina is struggling a lot, and there's Chansey down. Now you have your last Pokemon, it is Tauros. Makes sense you saved that to the very end. A critical Blizzard, you needed that. Now we have a Tauros v Tauros, but Satina's Tauros is completely healthy. There's Body Slam, doesn't do enough. There's another Body Slam. The next Hyper Beam will kill. But Melon Ward gets the crit, getting him the win. Yeah, just like Melon Ward said there, lucky. Alright, now, round 2. That first round was already really close. We have Lead Alakazam versus Lead Executor. going straight into Double Edge, which definitely works out for you because you get a crit. Like, so Tina has to recover. So, like, they're not out of this yet. And now that Mo and Ward took a lot of pressure off, like, that gave Tina the opening she needed. So I'll say that's a bit of a misplay, at least in my opinion. Going back into Executor, you're both paralyzed. You have Double Edge, that's doing decent damage to Chansey, but they have Reflect, so really not good for you. Go into your own Chansey, but what are you going to do against a paralyzed Reflect Chansey? Probably not much. Go into Raichu. Raichu's paralyzed. Trying to go for Special Drop because that's the only thing you can do here. But Chansey will be able to beat this Raichu 1v1, especially with Raichu losing a turn of paralysis. So Tina's already in a great position. Even with that Special Drop, I wouldn't care too much. Chansey's going to take a decent amount of damage here, and it's going to be fully paralyzed. That's not good. Now you have to switch. But luckily, Raichu is once again fully paralyzed. A Body Slam does kill. They go into Executor. You go into Alakazam. What's Executor going to do here? Put you to sleep? Oh wait, yeah, that actually is kind of bad. But now you have Palisand. They have Sawsbuck. So it will most definitely have Hornleech. Hornleech gets a crit, but doesn't do that much to Snorlax. Snorlax gets paralyzed. You go for Amnesia. So, very good, but a critical Double Edge messes you up a lot. You go for Ice Beam, which will kill the Sawsbuck at the very least. So far, Tina's not lost any Pokemon other than the Snorlax here, which already did enough work. So, pretty good. There's Palisand. You probably don't expect that Snorlax to have an Ice move, so you're free to just set up here. With it, Amnesia, you do significantly better against Chansey. Watch out for the freeze, but outside of that, you're probably fine. Unless you get crit, as you see there. In comes your own Chansey. You get a free chance to heal, which is exactly what you do. Executor goes straight for Explosion. I can respect the play. In comes Snorlax. In comes Gastrodon. Gastrodon's faster. It gets Amnesia up. If it gets paralyzed, this could be annoying. And there it is. How much is going to do now? Will it recover? Will it attack? Goes for recover. As expected. There's Body Slam. You go straight for Surf, which actually is a 2-KO, which is actually pretty nice. Hyper Beam does not get the kill though. You do heal. This is huge. Absolutely huge. But you're fully paralyzed. That is not good. They miss another Hyper Beam, so Surf will kill you. They have Chansey, but you can probably heal through this very, very easily. Not when you're paralyzed though. That's unfortunate. But still, you're tanky enough to where you can definitely get that recover. They go into Tauros. What other options do they really have? They need to get some crits in. There's a crit. But do they go for Surf? Yes, they do. Tauros is almost dead. You have another Pokemon in the back, probably Tauros of your own. And there it is. It's time for a rematch. But you do not get the crit this time. Body Slam does kill. But Tina does get the crit as an extra fuck you on the middle finger sandwich. I do not know what I'm saying right now. I'm getting strangely hyped, but I'm running out of good work to say. Doesn't matter though, because this is still anyone's game. If Alakazam does not wake up, the Tauros is, taking some damage. Alakazam does not wake up in time, so Chansey does get the kill here. Now it's just Tauros versus Chansey. You go for Body Slam, doesn't get the kill. Thunderbolt doesn't get the kill either, and if you got paralyzed there, that would have been the end. But Hyper Beam does kill, so now Tina has won game 2. Once again, a really close set. You would not expect this from, someone who was, truly a beginner, just like Shelly. And Shelly's also someone that has gotten a lot better. Same with Gemstone. When I make my video on Losers Bracket, holy crap, you guys are going to see the massive Gemstone comeback. So many people from these previous seasons are getting so much better. It is awesome to see. I am proud of each and every one of you. But please do not get too much better because my match with Funnyman was very stressful. And I don't like it when I don't get easy wins. I prefer easy wins. Hopefully, the person who will win this will be the person I'll face. We'll give me an easy win tomorrow. But they probably won't because they're mean. And I do not like mean people. But anyway, it's time for the all-important Game 3. Very similar to last time. Executor gets put to sleep. Let me just make sure real quick that these are different replays. Yes, they are. Just wanted to make sure real quick. There's Sawsbuck. You switch out. There's, once again, Vanillux. You get the crit. Does decent damage to the Chansey. Go into Snorlax. Snorlax gets paralyzed, but who cares? There's Executor. It's asleep. Snorlax will probably get the kill if they don't do anything in time. But why do that when you can get a free Vanillux switch in? They have to switch. You go with the Chansey. There's Blizzard. It's going to do decent damage. You go for Hyper Beam, which does get the kill. Hyper Cream. That's so stupid. But either way, Chansey gets paralyzed, probably prefers that. You go back into Executor to eat up that Thunder Wave, but you're just probably not going to wake up in time. And with Vanillux, this Vanillux is just causing so many issues. There's another Blizzard, does have to Raichu. Vanillux just absolutely shredding everything. In comes Executor again. Executor, like, unfortunately Santina called it because of how much it's been switched in. Executor is not going to do much here. Blizzard gets the kill on Executor. There's Snorlax. But Santina has Gengar. Oh no. Back into Raichu they go. Going straight into Explosion. Absolutely agree with that play because Santina already has so many more Pokemon. Might as well go for the aggressive play. There's Reflect. And there's Self-Destruct. Doesn't do that much, unfortunately. But you go back into Executor. Executor puts Snorlax to sleep, but wakes up immediately. But there we go. It's back to sleep again. There goes Psychic. It's gonna do enough to kill. So Melon Wash is in a very, very bad position. Not unwinnable technically, but it might as well be. You paralyze Executor, and luckily you do get the full paralysis. Switch back into Snorlax. Even though Snorlax isn't going to survive, you might as well try to get rid of that special drop. But in comes your Tauros. With paralysis, you might be able to win, but Executor goes for Explosion. In comes your own Tauros. Hyper Beam is technically what you needed to win there, which is funny. Last is Sawsbug versus Tauros, but you get the crit. So Tina has won game 3. And this is the winner's bracket. Hopefully you guys weren't looking at this beforehand, but yeah. So Tina, after a very close match, and with me, I would also consider my match to be pretty close, even though it doesn't look like it looking at the scoreboard. Hopefully tomorrow, the two of us will fight in winner's bracket. That won't be like a commentary or like a reaction. For that video, it will be me recording my experience, so it'll be pretty different. And yeah, we also have like loser's bracket, which is still going strong. Some other things you can probably look forward to will be W chatter, like being surprisingly clutch. Like people like Riscado and Gemstone, like I said. It's a lot of fun. So I hope you'll be able to watch this. But until next time, this is Groundback. Or actually, wait, no. Friendly reminder that you can join these tournaments yourself. Like, in the description, you'll have a link to my Discord server. Join the Discord server. Maybe if you're not playing in the tournament, you could still play in the format with people who will be more than willing to play with you. I really appreciate you being there. And hopefully for the the Season 4, it'll be even bigger than this tournament. Thank y'all for watching. This is Groundback, and I look forward to hearing from you.